Suzaku, that's not cool, man. That's pretty fucking cruel, what you just did to Lelouch. You're making him talk to his little sister, and he's supposed to fake that he doesn't recognize her. And from the ending conversation, from what I understand from the dialogue, I'm going to assume that Lelouch's little sister is actually trying to speak to Suzaku. So what I see here is that the Emperor changed Lelouch's little sister's memories to think that Suzaku is her brother. If that really is true, oh, that is dirty as fuck, man. That is really fucking wrong. And then you force Lelouch to hear it. Dude, it doesn't matter. Even if Lelouch didn't have his memories, that is so fucked up. That is really, really, really fucked up. Suzaku, man. Now I'm starting to see why some don't really like Suzaku at all. I'm starting to see why, because that's a dick move. That's straight up a dick move. It really is. So, yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. With this episode of Code Geass Season 2, Episode 5, if I'm correct, this episode, straight up, was a reenactment of, like, the previous festival we had once before. It was kind of similar to the cat episode of Season 1. Like, if you remember the cat episode, I remember I did a review on that, I'm like, whoa, this episode feels very out of place. You know, the cat, how Lelouch and everybody was, you know, chasing after the cat. That's kind of how this episode felt. It was pretty much Lelouch, you know, setting up some plot points all over the place for future episodes, along with, you know, just seeing the antics of how his secret was almost uncovered with C2 being inside of tomatoes, crushed up tomatoes. I'm like, oh, wow. The irony of Pizza Girl being inside of tomatoes and about to be turned into a pizza. The irony is fucking priceless. That irony, man. That's amazing. But the thing was, okay, the episode, for the most part, the episode was like a reenactment of that cat episode. And there was a lot of unexpected fan service. I was like, whoa! Like, there was a lot of fan service in this episode. Like, more than, I think, the entirety of Season 1 of Code Geass. That's how much fan service was in this episode. Like, the teacher? Oh! The undercover teacher? Dude, the fucking... Whoa! And then Shirley and her fan service, and then you have it to where... You have Colin and her fan service. Like, there's just so much fan service in this episode. I was like, holy shit. Like, it was stunning, because Code Geass usually doesn't have that amount of fan service. Colin usually has fan service used on her a lot, usually when she gets in her mech, but it's just usually her. But even C2 had some slot fan service in this episode. I'm like, damn, what, Code Geass, I guess you need to have fan service every so often. I guess I need these type of episodes, but holy hell. So, episode, what did it really do? What did it set up, and what was the progression of this episode? So, besides the ending with Suzaku being a dick to Lelouch and making him talk to his sister that most likely doesn't even recognize him, you also have to set up with the, you know, fake teacher, the one that shot Ogi in the first season. Pretty much, she is now being used by Lelouch and Rollo now, because Rollo puts her at gunpoint, and Lelouch walks in like a badass. And as he walks in, he's like, oh, so, what would happen if people find out you actually helped out one of the rebels? How would they, like, what would they think of you? And you most likely be killed or something like that as a traitor. So, Lelouch is using that factor to win over the teacher on his side and use her. So, that ending, oh my god, like, that overall conclusion of that conversation. And then we move over to Rollo. Rollo... Oh my god, man. I don't know what to think about that kid, okay? The kid, he's following Lelouch. And I mean, as I said in the last episode, I mean, he's just like, I don't know, he's this kid that is just so attached to Lelouch. He's like, you know, shaking. Like, he freaks out when Lelouch treats him like a brother. It's so off. Because, like, his character is just so off compared to the other characters I've seen from Code Geass, and he stands out. And we find out in this episode, which is hinted at, that he has an Achilles heel. So we don't know what his, you know, weakness is to his Geass, but he says he has a weakness. So I figured he would have a weakness, because a power like that broken needs to have a weakness. So Lelouch most likely is going to find out, or he probably already knows, and if Rollo ever turns against him, or Lelouch, you know, is done with Rollo, he will kill him. So this episode was pretty much set up for that. That's what it was. And overall, it was a good episode. It was a really decent episode. I have no problems with it. I was quite shocked to see that amount of fan service, along with how this episode reminded me of the cat episode from Season 1. But, nothing too bad. The ending conclusion, oh, dude. Oh. Dude, man. Suzaku, you're gonna get killed, man. Lelouch is going to dig your grave. No. Lelouch is going to force Suzaku to dig his own grave. And then he's going to put him in that grave. And then he's going to bury himself. That's most likely what Lelouch will do to Suzaku. I mean, if he probably didn't use his Geass already on Suzaku, Lelouch most likely would tell him to dig a hole and then bury yourself. That's most likely what he would say to him. So, besides that, good episode. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.